Spright, Tribrigade, and Melffy. Three very, very different archetypes that all wonderfully work together for some random ass reason. What's going on, guys? Pegasus from the Wise Guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sub, make sure you hit the bell, guys. Obedient School is a very, very powerful card. You guys have always kind of seen this card pop up in different deck lists in different years. And it's usually some sack guy at locals, but like I feel like inside of a meta where Spright is a real thing and level 2s being put on the field is a real thing, a really, really powerful card like Obedient School basically becomes multiplied by how strong it can be, and that's why we're going to talk about it. So let's talk about it. By being able to quickly put 3 different names that are all negated, make sure you're aware of that are all negated when they're out on the field is really, really strong. The Tribrigade archetype basically has a free profit basically off of this card because you don't have to lose any grave effects, do you? See how that works? Now obviously with the Melffy stuff, being able to bounce and do some stuff on the field, yeah, that would hurt definitely a little bit, but this is just a combo piece to be able to set up some other stuff because that's how the archetypes work together, and they're really synergistic. It actually is shocking how smooth they all work together. Kalantosa is really, really strong. It's a pop. Kit being the Tribrigade wheels, and then obviously with Melffy Puppy. Now with this specific combo, using the Kit and the Puppy, you get to summon Baron Blossom and then trigger Kit in the graveyard to be able to dump Nerval, and then Nerval to add another Kit. From there, guys, you would be able to special summon out off of. From there, guys, having Kit onto the field, summoned off of Blossom, allows you to banish some of the fodder that you already have in your graveyard. So activating Blossom's effect, you would be able to special summon out Kit, and then from there, Kit will be able to banish those cards to be able to go into further Tribrigade plays. Now, obviously, you guys obviously know these simple combos like Blossom special summoning a Tribrigade. However, when you're adding on to the layers of this, where stuff like Bear Brum comes out onto the field because Obedient School set all this up. Mind you, you have not normal. Remember that. You would overlay either from Melffy or the Forest. I don't think that's the correct play here. I think it's actually Joyous Melffy's. But it doesn't really matter. You're just going to be able to detach, and then basically instead of pulling from the deck, you would pull from the grave, which is why the Exceed was probably necessary, just because being able to cycle back through your resources is why this card is necessary. For this specific combo, I'm showing Joyous Melffy's, and the addition of having Blossom as well as Bear Brum on the field is really, really key as well. Using those two guys, the Bear Brum and the Blossom, we link into another Blossom, and that will allow us to search Revolt, which is the whole reason why you would play Tribrigade in the first place. So guys, basically this at minimum is the start board off of Obedient School all by itself. Really, really strong, and that's without even deep diving some more combos. Now normally, guys, for me, when I show baselines, I just try to show how powerful a card is by itself. But in this case, I wanted to show, hey, you could go off like that, and then with the additional cards in your hand, you can keep going. It's pretty stupid to me, guys. This is the next combo I wanted to talk about, where basically off of Kalantosa and the Valor of Han, however the hell you say, Bambi basically, and Kit, I wanted to show essentially either one base combo that you could do or another. In this specific scenario, number 64, Ronin Raccoon, would be able to detach to then special summon a level 1 token, which will help you facilitate some interesting plays, to say the least, although Dark Ruler would just body all of this. I'm just going to be honest with you. As far as that is concerned, though, detaching, you get to special summon out the token, and then from there, Kit, being the material, gets to dump Nerval and gets to add Cuirass. From here, you normal Cuirass. If you have obviously other targets in your hand, you wouldn't normal there, you would special summon there. But for this specific combo, and most definitely do not go into Blossom here. I was actually just messing around with plays in my head. This is actually one of those replays where you're like, oh, do I summon this here? No, you're going to Bear Brum and then extend past that. It's really, really obvious. I'm not a Tribrigade player, so sometimes I have to like reread stuff if I haven't played it in a while. But bottom line, guys, at minimum, being able to have Bear Brum as well as a Nat Beast, as well as a number 64, and you're not done yet because you're going to link those two away into a Blossom and then add the trap card. That means at minimum having a Blossom, having a Nat Beast, and having a Revolt off of one card by itself is something that you should probably know. Some of you guys were trying to figure out some of the combos with the deck. This would be the baseline to me. If you're going to go into a locals where you know that your opponents are going to have a whole lot of decks that rely on spells, and that beast is really, really strong. There are different ways that you can do these combos. In this specific one, I wanted to show Rescue Cat just summoning 2 kits because I wanted to hold back the Cuirass that you would want in your hand later on in the turn. In the new combo, you would summon Spright Elf, which would allow just a lot of play. Here, you would actually summon back Kit and then use that effect by itself to then special summon out banish cards and then summon out Likeheart. Now, Likeheart can be summoned because, well, that can just banish to then summon a Link 1. If you did not know that, no, you don't have to have a Scareclaw or a V-Size. If you're playing Tribrigade, you can just play this in general because of the Tribrigade's effects. Really, really key to note. From there, you would link those two off into a Blossom, being the first Blossom that you summon this turn. And then from there, being able to special summon out, the way Blossom always does, a Nerval in this specific case. And then banish for Omen to then either push through a board. Maybe you're going second and you're pushing through something. That would be something that you would need to do. Obviously, if you're going first as well, you may not want to burn through an Omen, but maybe you're playing 2. Bottom line is you're trying to just extend as much as you can. In this combo, I wanted to show off Fabled Cerebral because I wanted to show some scenarios where the profit could just be marginally, it could be rather big, rather quickly. Something like being in a top deck war, going back and forth with your opponent and opening a Rescue Cat, getting a Rescue Cat off the top of the deck to then end on a card Fabled Unicorn, like in a top deck war. That seems really, really strong. Not necessarily something that you would need. You could end on Arclight. You could end. There's a lot of different plays that you can have. Like this basic end board is Arclight with a Spright Elf that's going to interrupt them on their turn, with a double Dragon Lords that's going to bother them on their turn, as well as probably a Spright Smashers and a Revolt back behind that. And the 3 other cards in your hand, obviously you're going to have to shuffle one back because of the standard Tribrigade shenanigans that you're always going to be used to with Bear Brum, and Blossom, pardon me. You have to really consider this, guys. Inside of this meta game where all of the combo decks have waves and waves and waves and waves, make sure we write Konami and make sure we get Heart Power back, guys. If all this can happen, then I feel like some of the older combo decks can get their old stuff back, like Heart Power. Shout out to Orcus players. As far as just a generic hand and just showing again what Cat can do all by itself, obviously inside of a deck like this you would want to probably play the Gamma package. I don't know if you necessarily need the other hand traps, but make sure you check out Josh's profile. Again, guys, this is essentially the same kind of combo, getting into a Spright Elf, following it up with a Bear Blossom, and then following that up with a Bear Brum, and then following that up with linking it off to get the Revolt into your hand. End on Dragon Lords, end on Arclight, end on, it just depends on what is opening in your hand. If you have a lot of level 2s and you can keep going and you activated Gigantic Spright basically to lock you from losing to Nibiru and stuff like that, guys, this is just really, really strong stuff that you need to consider. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Pegasus out. Watch Josh's profile and then rewatch this again. If you need to learn the combos, I hope this helped a little bit. I'm out. Arrivederci.